Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gabriel, and it's been a minute since I've done a long form video, but I wanted to talk today about why you might not be seeing results on your twin flame journey. A lot of times we'll go through a lot of challenges, we'll go through different phases. Sometimes you'll experience our twin flame coming back into our lives only to depart again, and some people call that the runner chaser phase, although that's not really what is happening. There's not a phase that's runner chaser. There is a mirroring, right? Your twin flame always mirrors you. And so you might say, well, why did they come back if they were going to leave again? Or why am I not seeing any external results when I've been healing for however many months or years? There's a few things that could be going on when you are experiencing, you're doing inner work and you're not seeing results. The first thing that you might be experiencing is if you are focused on your twin flame and not really doing the inner work for yourself. When you're doing the inner work, if you're doing the mirror exercise and you're only doing it to get an external result, you're trying to get your twin flame to text you. You're trying to, well, if I just heal this, then I'll have this thing and then I'll be able to be with my twin flame, or any type of thought pattern of that kind, you're actually going to find that your twin flame isn't going to respond to that. No matter how many times you do the mirror exercise, if you're doing it to just get the result, you are not going to see the result, because that's actually control. You're actually trying to manipulate your twin flame instead of just loving yourself and healing and allowing the result to be whatever it is. When you're doing the mirror exercise, you always want to focus on returning to peace. No matter what you're mirroring, no matter what you're moving through at the moment, you want to focus on returning to your peace. And that's it. That's the only result that you should be aiming for. The external results, the manifestations, all of those are up to God and where you're at on your journey. You don't really get a say in how it manifests or when it manifests. There may be other things that you need to learn. There may be other layers that you haven't moved through that you can't see yet. So just because you've returned to peace, just because you are doing the mirror exercise on communication, for example, doesn't mean that your twin flame will immediately text you, because you may have many layers to your communication block, and you want to make sure that you're not trying to control there. So do the inner work for your betterment, for your peace. And that's that peace that you build up, that foundation of peace that you build up, is actually what's going to attract your twin flame, rather than doing it to try to control and get that external result. The next thing is that you may not have healed through all the layers, or you may have more blocks. When you're doing your inner work, there are lots of layers. You may experience the same challenge for years in different layers, because you have such a vast consciousness and because you have probably been through a lot of lifetimes. This is likely not your first lifetime on Earth, and it's likely not your first time facing these challenges. You may have acquired all these traumas and upsets and ways of thinking in your childhood and throughout past lifetimes, and expecting yourself to do one mirror exercise, one meditation, one bout of inner reflection, and that suddenly change your whole life and everything works out and you never experience that again, is actually pretty unrealistic, right? It didn't take you overnight to get to this space, so overnight or just one mirror exercise is not going to resolve everything that you've been through. That's why we work through it in layers, to be more compassionate. If you've gone your whole life believing one thing, and that you're, for example, not worthy of love, coming into that awareness and healing into the real emotional knowing that you are worthy of love is a process. You can know that in your head, but you don't feel it in your heart yet. Maybe you still experience things that make you feel like you're not worthy of love. And if you feel that way, that's going to block your union from manifesting. No matter how many times you do the mirror exercise, if you haven't healed it at the core, if you aren't truly feeling that you're worthy instead of just thinking it in your head, then you're not going to experience that realization of your union of I'm worthy of love and I claim my love, right? That only comes from that inner knowing and awareness that you are worthy of love, or you are worthy of communication, or you have a good relationship with yourself. Whatever is the block, I'm just using worthiness as an example here, but you want to move through your blocks as they arise, no matter how many times a layer comes up. You just want to be compassionate with yourself and patient with yourself as you move through it, because some blocks are very sticky and you don't know how long it's going to take you to move through it. I know that I used to think, oh, well, I'm just going to move through this right now that I'm aware of it. A lot of times when I did that, it was from a place of control because I was trying to get the result. Like I talked about in the first point, I wanted the result. And so I was like, I'm going to get through this all right now. And realizing that, hey, that may not actually be compassionate to get through it all right now, because there may be 1,000 layers of this. It's not realistic. So you work through it on the layer that you're at, return to peace. You just want to go through it as it arises, because that's how God wants you to go through it. God wants you to enjoy your life, enjoy the journey. Your life is not going to start when your twin flame manifests into your life. Your happiness is not going to start when your twin flame manifests into your life. You have to create that now, no matter what you're going through. And so just going through a layer, returning to peace and happiness, surrendering to how everything unfolds will help you. Another thing that might be keeping you from your twin flame is seeing them as separate from you. This is a key point that you need to heal through in order to be with them. If you see them as separate from you, if you see them as making choices that is different from you, that's going to keep you in separation, because you are affirming separation by seeing yourself as separate. You and your twin flame are literally one consciousness, and you make the same core choices, even if they're uncomfortable to look at. If you are experiencing separation, you can't point at your twin flame and say, oh, they're choosing separation. You are too. And that can be hard to face. That can be humbling to face. And like, how am I choosing separation? I'm choosing to be with them. But again, you have a very vast consciousness, and there could be parts of yourself that is saying, I'm scared to be with love. I don't believe I'm worthy of love. They hurt me and I don't want to experience that again. And all of those things block you and cut you off from being with your twin flame if you're seeing them as making separate choices from you and doing things separate from you. You could be experiencing a false twin flame if you're truly healing and this person is nowhere to be found. But if this person is your twin flame and you're not seeing those results, and you're still seeing them, oh, well, they're making separate choices from me, you are affirming that separation. Be discerning there with how you want to look at it. But if you're not experiencing your twin flame into your reality, there's still something that's choosing separation. And there's usually a good reason. For the most part, we don't make choices to deliberately sabotage ourselves unless we've got an upset with hating ourselves or something like that. And even that is usually formed on a misbelief. Usually formed out of a misguided attempt to try to love ourselves or protect ourselves or something. So if you are experiencing this and you've become aware of where you might be choosing separation, all you're being called to do is love yourself and make a new choice there and choose to see your twin flame as one with you. You can't actually make yourself separate from your twin flame. All you're doing is believing that you're separate, and you manifest your reality, so that's what manifests in your reality as that separation. The fourth thing that you might be doing if you are healing and you're not seeing results with your twin flame is you may not be living your life purpose, or you aren't heading in that direction. Living your life purpose is inseparable from being with your twin flame. The purpose of your twin flame being in your life is to support you in living your life purpose. You are meant to do your life purpose together. Even if you aren't literally doing the same thing, You are meant to help each other. You're meant to support each other. It doesn't have to look the same on the outside, but if you aren't moving towards your life purpose and you aren't living your life purpose with your twin flame, there really is no purpose for them to be with you. Just romantic love and desiring them really isn't enough. They are in your life to be your connection with God. If you're not connecting with your purpose, you're not connecting with God in that space, then there's no reason for God to meet you, to support you and be with you in that space. You romance your twin flame, you romance God by being with your life purpose, by living your true, authentic purpose, because that is a part of yourself. You can't truly be one with yourself, realize your true self until you're living your life purpose, because there's no separation between you and your life purpose. Being you is living your purpose. It's in service to others, even if you're doing something that you feel isn't in service to others. For example, like you're just making little toys and you think that might be insignificant. Maybe those toys bring a lot of joy to people. That is in service to all. So don't disregard whatever your life purpose is just because you feel like it's not worthy. Take those steps. Something that keeps people from living their life purpose is, they feel like they won't be supported or it won't help them and they don't see a path there. But God put a dream in your heart, no matter what it is, even if you don't fully understand what it is. You don't have to know everything. God does. And God will guide you to your life purpose. It may look like a lot of eclectic things. It may not look like one cohesive picture, but the way God works is you move with faith and God will make the picture clear as you start to get into it, and then you finally step back and you're like, wow, God had a plan this whole time. You don't have to worry about the plan. You just take the steps that God guides you to. And that's very attractive to your twin flame. Another thing that you might be doing if you're doing your inner work, you're not experiencing any results, is you might be leaking your energy somewhere. And this can happen in a lot of different ways. So maybe you're hanging on to relationships that no longer serve you. I've seen a lot of people that say, oh, I want to stay with my soulmate until I manifest my twin flame. Well, think about that for a second. You're leaking all your romantic energy to something that isn't your union, isn't your twin flame. You're wanting your twin flame who is your mirror, to not mirror you in that instance and be with you. You're wanting your twin flame to do something that they can't do, that they can't not mirror you. They are one with you. You're wanting them to disregard the fact that you're in another relationship. I hear those same people say like, well, they're in a relationship. I want to wait till they're out of a relationship and I'll be in a relationship. Your twin flame is doing the exact same thing. If you want to be with your twin flame, you have to honor that relationship. You have to choose that in faith. If you truly desire to be with your twin flame, it's more compassionate to let go of someone that isn't yours and be with your twin flame. Even if it takes a little while, even if you have to be single for a little bit, sealing up energy leaks of putting your energy into the wrong relationship will help you build that foundation for your twin flame to join you. Remember, you make the same core choices. You are one. So if you make the choice, I'm only going to be with my twin flame, your twin flame will make that choice too. That doesn't mean they're going to break up with their third-party karmic partner on the exact same day, but they will experience that internal shift and things will start to change for them. That's where they experience the contrast, where they start to understand like, hey, this may not be my person. You don't have control over how that unfolds, but you do have the ability to choose for yourself and know that your twin flame chooses with you. And it's only a matter of just doing the inner work and being with God and living your life purpose, being your true self, that will attract them into your life permanently. As we talked about all of these different things that might be happening, above all else is to be compassionate and patient with yourself. You can't compare your journey to anyone else's. You don't have the full picture of what your life is meant to be, and your life is not comparable to anyone else's. You may have all these things to heal that this other person doesn't have to heal, but they have their own set of things to heal. You can't compare timelines. Well, this person got into their union in 2 years and this person took 2 months. You can't compare those two people. You can't say, oh, well, what happened to this person that took 2 years? What happened to this person that took 10 years? There's no comparison there. Not everybody is starting out in the same lane. Some people have been doing inner work and spiritual work for lifetimes, and and maybe they manifest faster. Maybe someone has been doing inner work for 20, 50 years, and they still haven't manifested their twin flame. That doesn't mean that they're not doing the work. That doesn't mean that they're not making progress. That doesn't mean that you're not making progress if you're in that space. The measure of your success is if you are moving through your upsets, if you are building more peace within your life. That is success. And you don't have control over when your twin flame comes into your life or when everything comes together, but trust that God has a plan that is perfect for you. Your twin flame will be there when they need to be there in the right time for you. Chop wood, carry water, do the inner work, find your peace, live your life purpose, become the best version of yourself and live for yourself right now, and your twin flame will be attracted and come and join you when it's right for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. If you'd like support on your twin flame journey, if you're feeling like, hey, I want to do the inner work, but I feel like I'm struggling, I offer one-on-one and group coaching classes to support you, and I offer readings as well to help you know the next steps on your journey. You can find all of that at SacredTwinFlameUnion.com, and I'll see you all in the next video.